Some stories wait to be told, in the dark and silence in places where no one can hear them. These stories are real, maybe not exactly as they happened, but in their essence, in their spirit. Because fear always finds a way in, through a cracked door, through a photograph, or from a house that was never truly yours. Tonight, I will tell you a story. As you listen, look around you. Are you really alone? Are you sure? Turn off your lights, put your headphones on, and remember, some people never leave even after they die. Let's begin. The Landlord. March 15th, 2009, Sunday. When Michael and Sarah Brennan received the keys to their new home in Portland, Oregon, they thought a new chapter of their lives was beginning. They were newlyweds, only 7 months married. Michael was 32, a software engineer. Calm, logical, someone who liked to plan everything. Sarah was 29, an elementary school teacher. Cheerful, optimistic, always seeing the best in things. The house was in the Northwest District on Morrison Street. 2 stories, wooden, painted blue with white shutters. A small house. There were flowers in the yard, a swing on the front porch. It looked perfect, and it was incredibly cheap. "Why is it so cheap?" Sarah had asked the realtor. The woman smiled, a forced smile. The previous owner was sick for a long time and couldn't maintain the house. It needs some repairs. "Sick?" Michael asked. "Yes." He was an older man. Walter Finch, 55 years old, died 3 months ago. Sarah hesitated. "Did he die in the house?" The realtor nodded. "In the bedroom, but it's been cleaned, don't worry. A certified team came." Michael squeezed Sarah's hand. "It doesn't matter. We love the house." The realtor looked relieved. "Great. Also, Walter's family left most of the furniture behind. You can have it if you want." "Really?" Sarah laughed. "That's wonderful." But the realtor didn't laugh. On moving day, Michael noticed something. The smell. Faint but disturbing. Sweet but rotten. Like old milk, mold, and something else mixed together. "What's that smell?" he asked Sarah. Sarah sniffed. "Yeah, I notice it too. Maybe old carpet or paint. If we air it out, it'll go away." But it didn't. March 18th, 2009, Wednesday. 3 days later, it was still there, especially upstairs, especially in the master bedroom. Sarah was putting away laundry while Michael emptied the dresser drawers. The bottom drawer was stuck. He forced it. When it opened, inside were old papers, bills, a few pens, and a photograph. Michael picked it up. It was a Polaroid, faded, yellowed. In the photo stood a man, on the front porch of the house. He was skinny, very thin, as if he hadn't eaten in weeks. His hair was curly, balding on top. His eyes looked strange, a purplish color, swollen and bulging, as if he hadn't slept in months. He was smiling, but that smile was wrong. Too wide, too forced, as if the facial muscles were moving, but there was no soul. Michael showed the photo to Sarah. "This must be Walter Finch."
Sarah looked and flinched. God, he looks so sad.
"Yeah," Michael said. "The illness must have destroyed him." Sarah took the photo. "We should throw this away." But she didn't. She put the photo back in the drawer. Later, she said, "It feels a bit disrespectful." Michael shrugged. "Okay." That night, as Sarah got into bed, she thought about the photo again. Those eyes, why were they purple, and why? Did it feel like they were looking at her? March 21st, 2009, Saturday. Michael was dreaming. At least he thought he was. He was in the house, but it was different. The walls were darker, the windows were dirty, the air was heavy, breathing was hard. He was walking down the hallway. He could hear footsteps, but his feet weren't moving, as if he was floating. The bedroom door was open. A sound came from inside, breathing. Heavy, rasping breathing. Michael entered. Someone was in the room, sitting on the bed. Their back was turned, thin shoulders, curly hair balding on top. "Hello," Michael said. The man didn't turn, but he spoke. "My house." His voice was hoarse, broken. "What?" Michael said. "My house," the man said again. "Who are you?" Michael stepped back. I'm Michael. I live here." The man slowly turned. His face was the one from the photograph, Walter Finch, but worse. His eyes were completely purple now. Veins had bled into the pupils. His mouth was open. His tongue was swollen. "No," Walter said. "I live here." Then he stood up and walked toward Michael, too fast, too close. Michael tried to back away but couldn't move. Walter's face was inches from his. His breath was rotten. "Get out of my house! Get out!" Michael woke with a jolt. He was breathing hard, covered in sweat. Sarah rolled over and looked at him. "Honey, are you okay?" Michael nodded. "Just a bad dream." But his heart was racing, because in the corner of the room, just for a second, someone was standing there, a thin shadow. Then it was gone. March 24th, 2009, Tuesday. Sarah was taking a shower. The hot water relaxed her. She closed her eyes, shampooed her hair, then stopped. She'd felt something, the feeling of being watched. She slowly opened her eyes. On the other side of the shower curtain, there was a shadow, shaped like a person, motionless, just standing there. Sarah's heart stopped. "Michael!" she called out. The shadow didn't move. "Michael, is that you?" No sound. Sarah held her breath, slowly reached out her hand. She was going to open the curtain. Her fingers touched the fabric, pulled. No one was there. The bathroom was empty. Sarah tried to calm down, but then she looked at the mirror. It was filled with steam, but in the steam, there were words, as if someone had written with their finger, "Get out." Sarah screamed. Michael ran upstairs. "What happened?" Sarah was shaking, wrapped in a towel. "The mirror, there was writing. It said, 'Get out.'" Michael looked at the mirror. The steam had cleared. There was nothing. "Sarah, maybe you..." "I didn't imagine it," Sarah yelled. "It was there. I saw it." Michael tried to calm her down. Okay, I believe you." But he didn't. Not until then. March 27th, 2009, Friday. Michael came home late from work. It was 11 p.m. Sarah was already asleep. Michael went upstairs, quietly entered the bedroom. Sarah was in bed, under the blanket. Michael went to the bathroom, brushed his teeth, washed his face. He looked in the mirror and saw someone behind him, by the door. In the darkness, a thin figure. Michael turned around. No one was there. He turned back to the mirror. The figure was still there, in the mirror, but not in reality. Michael's heart began pounding wildly. He moved closer to the mirror. The figure moved closer too. Michael could see the face now. Walter Finch, purple eyes, mouth open, tongue hanging out. And he was smiling. Michael backed away. The mirror cracked. A single crack down the middle, top to bottom. Michael left the bathroom, closed the door, looked at Sarah. She was still sleeping, or appeared to be. Michael got into bed, lay down, closed his eyes, tried to breathe. Then Sarah turned. Her face was toward him. Her eyes were closed. Michael looked at her, and Sarah's eyes opened, but they weren't her eyes. They were purple, completely purple. And Sarah's mouth opened. She spoke in Walter's voice. "This is my house." Michael screamed and jumped out of bed. Sarah woke and sat up. "What's happening?" Her eyes were normal. Brown. Sarah's eyes. You spoke in his voice." Sarah frowned. "What?" "You spoke in Walter's voice." "Michael, you're dreaming." "No!" Michael shouted. "This isn't a dream. He's here. Walter is here." Sarah got out of bed. "Michael, calm down." "I can't calm down. He doesn't want us here. He's trying to drive us out." Sarah hugged Michael. Okay. Tomorrow. Let's talk to someone tomorrow. Okay." Michael nodded, but he didn't sleep that night, because in the hallway, he heard footsteps, slow, steady, back and forth, until morning. March 30th, 2009, Monday. Sarah asked the neighbor. Mrs. Henderson, in her 70s, lived in the house next door. "Can you tell us anything about Walter Finch?" Sarah asked. Mrs. Henderson's face darkened. "That man, why do you ask?" "Just curious. He was our previous homeowner." Mrs. Henderson nodded. "Poor man. He was very sick. Mental illnesses, depression, paranoia. Sometimes we'd hear him screaming. At night, he was talking to himself." Sarah's skin crawled. "To himself?" "Yes. Or to someone imaginary. Police came a few times. Neighbors complained. But they couldn't do anything. It was his house." "How did he die?" Mrs. Henderson went quiet. "They found him in the bedroom 3 days later. No one knew, until the smell." She paused. "They said his mouth was open like he was screaming." Sarah swallowed. "God." "But the strangest part," Mrs. Henderson said, "the last month before he died, he kept saying the same thing. I heard it when I passed his door." "What did he say?" Mrs. Henderson looked into Sarah's eyes. "They're in my house. I can't get them out." April 2nd, 2009, Thursday. It was happening every night now. Michael saw Walter in his dreams. Each time he was closer, each time more clear. And now he couldn't tell if it was dream or reality. One night he got up in the kitchen to get water. He turned on the faucet, filled a glass, drank it, then looked at the window. And Walter was there, on the other side of the glass, his hands pressed against the window, his face pressed against the glass. His nose was flattened, his eyes were fixed on him, his mouth moved. "My house." Michael dropped the glass. It shattered. He ran upstairs. Sarah was sleeping. Michael didn't want to wake her. He got into bed, pulled the blanket up, closed his eyes. But he couldn't open them anymore, because he knew if he opened his eyes, Walter would be there. April 5th, 2009, Sunday. Sarah was afraid to shower now, but she had to. She turned on the water, got in, drew the curtain, closed her eyes, took the shampoo, and felt it. Someone was on the other side of the curtain, again, but this time, they were closer. Sarah opened her eyes. The shadow was there, right behind the curtain. A human shape, but not moving, just standing. "Michael," Sarah whispered. The shadow didn't answer. Sarah tried to breathe, reached out her hand, touched the curtain. On the other side, there was a hand, touching the curtain right across from Sarah's hand. Thin fingers, bony fingers. Sarah screamed, ran out from behind the curtain. No one was in the bathroom, but on the walls, words written as if in steam. "Sarah, I see you. Sarah, Sarah, Sarah." All the walls were covered with her name. Michael ran in. "What's happening?" Sarah pointed. But the writing was gone. The steam had evaporated. "They were there," Sarah cried. "He wrote my name all over the walls." Michael hugged her. "We're leaving," he said. Now, tonight. April 5th, 2009, Sunday, midnight. They were packing suitcases. Only what they needed, they were leaving. Michael was loading the suitcases into the car. Sarah was upstairs getting her last things. She entered the bedroom and froze. Walter was there, sitting on the bed. His back was turned. Sarah didn't scream. She just stared. Walter spoke. "Why are you leaving?" Sarah stepped back. "This is your house," she whispered. Walter turned his head, without his body moving, just his head, 180 degrees. His face was turned towards Sarah. His eyes weren't just purple anymore. They were bloody. Blood ran down like tears. "Yes," he said. "My house, and you are a guest." Then he stood up, his body still facing the bed. Only his head turned towards Sarah. He began walking, backward, towards Sarah. Sarah ran to the door, but the door closed, locked. Sarah turned. Walter was right behind her. His face was inches from hers. He wasn't breathing because he was dead. "You'll never..." Walter said, "Leave." Then he opened his mouth, very wide, too wide, as if his jaw had dislocated, and from inside, a scream, an endless, suffocating scream. Sarah's ears bled. Tears came from her eyes. Then, silence. Walter was gone. Sarah collapsed to the floor. Michael ran upstairs. "Sarah!" He grabbed her from the bed. "We're leaving, now." April 6th, 2009, Monday, 3:47 a.m. They got in the car, started the engine. They were about to leave, but Sarah looked back, at the house window, the upstairs bedroom window, and Walter was there, standing behind the glass, watching them, smiling, that wide, wrong smile. Michael hit the gas. They drove away from the house, but in the rearview mirror, Sarah could still see him, in the window, watching them, and she knew Walter was still there, still in his house, waiting for the next guests. Epilogue. The house on Morrison Street went back on the market 3 weeks later. The real estate company was different. They didn't ask any questions. The house sold within a month to a young couple. They loved it because it was cheap too. The realtor didn't tell them anything about the previous owner. They didn't need to. They would find out anyway. The first night, when the smell came and when Walter came. Because he never left, and he never will. If you liked this story, hit like and subscribe. More stories are waiting, stranger, darker, and maybe right inside your house. And if you move into a new home, especially if it's very cheap, ask, who lived there? How did they die? And did they really leave? Good night, or rather, try to sleep, if you can.